Hi, it's Ronnie, and welcome to a Punched Out Thursday to Die For, where we all use our punches and our dies to create our layout. And for today's layout, I'm going to scrap this picture of Charlie on a bike and use these three die sets and a couple of punches. The background paper is Craft Consortium, and I think it's called Textures. And the photo I cropped before I thought about it because I thought, well, I don't need all that. Well, there was a brick wall there, which is what made me think of this paper. But I like how it turned out, so it'll be all right. Um, the that gray looking paper there, it's a very old Amy Tangerine paper, and it's always reminded me of concrete. And I've used bits and pieces of it here and there, but this is the last of it. And she's on the concrete in the driveway, and it had rained, but the sun was coming out and it was getting warmed up. And this, I immediately thought of my last scrap, so I'm using it on there. And some of the bricks have darker bricks in them, and so I decided to go ahead and add a little bit of black to it too. My bicycle, it's Momento, one or the other, and it comes with it and flowers, and you'll see some flowers already made up over there, and I fussy cut around the bottom layer so that they would have colors on them. But I think I used maybe two of them, but I will use some of the butterflies, but they were from a different project and already made up. The bicycle that she's on has training wheels. I thought about trying to make some, but I ended up putting, oh yeah, I did use one of the flowers there. I used it on the bicycle. I did not use it as a flower. I didn't want to cover all that up, so I changed my mind about the training wheels. But it is a white bike with white tires. And so I'm going to leave the tires on this bike white. And I'm putting certain things as blue and certain things as teal. And I'm going to get rid of my scraps. And when I get rid of my scraps, I'm going to get rid of the seat. I was very, very lucky though. When I realized it and went back and looked in the trash, it was right there on top. How lucky is that, as tiny as it is? There they all go. Um, there's the flowers that I'm going to use as part of the bike. And that's when I realized I didn't have the little seat, so I dug and got it. Well, I didn't have to dig. Like I said, it was right on top. But I thought I was going to have to dig or recut it one. The bike, I'm just going to glue straight down to the concrete. But I'm going to add some flowers and stuff to give it a little bit of texture, depth, and dimension. It's a super cute die set because it does include all those flowers and that little banner there, and it is embossed. It says, "Oh, happy day." So that's what made me think of what my title's going to be. I went ahead and made it "Oh, happy day," only bigger because I did plan on using that banner on the back of the bike. It just, you had to look really hard to tell what it said. So I don't end up putting it on there after all. I'm putting fun in the sun because the sun had started shining. And my title, like I said, it's going to be "Oh, happy day." I cut out, it's diamond press, and I believe these are called brush stroke. And I cut out two, one in the light teal and then the other one in the dark blue, and layered them. So it'd have a little bit more to my title. It'd be a little bit thicker and be a little bit more to it. If I'd been super energetic, I would have put foam tape behind it, but apparently I wasn't because I just glued them straight down there. The leaves is from that Pink Fresh long branch, and I had scraps, so I went ahead and cut them out as scraps. I like the branch is pretty long, so I like three pieces of cardstock there, and cut it out, and then I laid three more, and so on. But I was going to cut it apart anyway, so the scraps worked pretty good. I'm putting one of those little phrase stickers on there, and that one says "Let's go." I figured since it was a bike, I would put it on there. And those phrase stickers, I believe, oh my goodness, maybe Doodlebug? No, I'm sure that's not what it is. But it's something I've had for a long time. And I think I've used like one or two phrases off of it. But yeah, it is, I've had it a while. I'm pretty sure I couldn't get it again if I tried. Uh, let's see. Oh, I'm putting flowers together. I used that little punch and I punched out pink and I punched out yellow, thinking I'd use both, but then I changed my mind on the pink, so I didn't use the pink. However, I used that other little tiny flower punch for the center of the flowers and I used pink for that. And oh, I decided I needed to ink my leaves after the fact, after I glued them down. So I'm picking them up one by one. And I think I'm probably inking my fingers more than I am the leaves, but I inked them anyway. And I will ink the rest before they actually get glued down. But while I am putting some flowers down on my layout and some greenery too, I want to mention that down there below you'll find the links to everybody else that are doing the Punched Out Thursday to Die for. And everybody will be using their punches and or dies. And all kinds of ideas on how to use your tools in the links down there below. And there is a Facebook group, a Punched Out Thursday to Die for, where you can post what you do with your punches and or dies. But don't you just love that background paper? Ah, that paper bed comes with 30 sheets and it has brick all the way through it, and lighter, darker, and so on. So, yeah, I've got plenty of brick. I got it a couple of months ago, I believe. Well, maybe it might have been a little longer than that, maybe around Christmas. I might have got it with my gift cards at Christmas. That might have been what I got. And stuck it on the shelf. And I think I used it once since then, but today's layout was perfect for it. Little pieces of ephemera that I'm using. Fun in the Sun and Summer are from Echo Park. I Love Summer, I think it is. Something like that. I do have a couple of collections mixed together. So, yeah, one or the other. I know it is Echo Park, though. That little banner was in there when I was looking in the ephemera, and I don't know if I cut it one day and didn't use it or if it actually came that way, but it wasn't as long as I wanted, so I'm cutting it in half. And I'm just running along the side of the photo. And I thought about putting it down there below there, but then I got the idea to put it on the side there and fill in that little area just a tiny bit, just a little bit. I'm not going to put too much there, but just to give it something on that side of the photo. And you see that uh, journaling card there? It's not going to make it on the layout. It's going to lay there and I'm going to forget all about it till I'm done. And no, it's not going to make it on the layout. And I really wanted to use it somewhere. Of course, I was going to pile stuff on it. And it wasn't actually going to be journaling material by the time I got done, but I was going to use it. But the photo is of Charlie. Of course, she's a lot smaller then. She's not much bigger now, though, but she's a lot younger then. Well, she was smaller. But she was, I went to pick her up at her great grandma's, her and Reagan both, and they were learning how to ride bikes. They were so proud of themselves. So, of course, they wanted me to take a picture and scrapbook it. So, you don't have to tell me twice. I'm going to take a picture. One time in my life, I didn't take a picture when somebody wanted me to, and it was Reagan. I felt guilty ever since because there was no opportunity to take it again later, as I thought in my head. But I am I'm checking over there to see if there's anything I want, and I am going to use the butterflies. And there's a little bird, and see me inking that little bird. And then I'm going to put a little teeny tiny piece of foam tape underneath its wing and nestle it in the flowers on the basket. but it's not going to stay there. It's going to keep bugging me. I'm going to put the 3 butterflies on my layout, and one is kind of close to it. And I thought everything else is to scale. The bicycle, the flowers aren't that big on the bicycle. And here I've got this little tiny bird and this great big butterfly. So it will get removed and saved for another day. Now, these butterflies, like the flowers, they had holes in them. So I put cardstock behind them too, and then fussy cut around them and filled them in. And I did put uh, foam tape under each of the wings on the butterflies, and I am going to be using 3 of them. And I decided to use 3 different ones. And well, I don't think there was 3 of anything over there, is why I decided that. But yeah, I could have cut another one out of something, but I decided just have them all 3 different. There are 2 white ones, but the cardstock that's behind them are both different colors. So, yeah, that was as close as I was getting, I think, though. I decided I needed to punch out a few more flowers. I think that's where we're at. I was looking over at the layout. I don't know where we're at. I'm just guessing. But yeah, I'm putting a few more flowers on there. And I'm digging over there to see if there's anything else that I want. Oh, that's when I pick up the other butterfly. And yeah, I'm going to put it on there. And I am getting pretty close to being done. I think about all I have left to do is a couple of flowers and the butterfly. And oh, and I am going to use some sequins on my layout too. And when I was using that ink, right towards the beginning of inking things, I inked in pink. Then I took that ink, uh, what are they called? Mini blending brush, mini blending. I don't know. I don't know what they're called. The ink thing. Anyway, I put it in the, what is that called? My mind went blank. Oh, honey, wild honey. I put it in the wild honey. So here, pink and wild honey was mixed. And I was already inking whatever it was I was thinking. I think it was center of flower. And I just went with it. I don't think I inked it again, but I kept using it. And so it's kind of a pinkish and yellow mixed together. If y'all notice in the close-ups, that is what happened. I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. But I'm pretty good at going with the flow. I decided to go ahead and pull a couple of those bigger flowers over, and I'm going to tuck them under. In fact, the yellow one I'm cutting in half and tucking it under because it was sticking out farther than I wanted it to otherwise. And there's my sequence, and it's called Summer Sunset. And I believe there's some that Colleen got me for Christmas, and with the brick behind there. And these are brown and kind of a dark pink and maybe an amber looking, maybe. There's a few. Oh, and there's a tiny bit of a aqua color. But I'm gonna sprinkle them around the page, and that'll be it. I will be done with my layout. Oh, I did get some clear ones that fell off just then, and I decided I wasn't gonna put them on there because they weren't showing up very well on the dark colors, and I just saved them for another layout. But there's the finished layout. And I had loads of fun creating it because y'all know I love the paper piece and do punch art. So, yeah, I really enjoyed playing with the bike and layering it up. And there is the bike. And thank goodness I found the seat, and it does have a seat in blue instead of white. I might have just went with the white if I hadn't found it. And there is the other cluster with my banner that looks so nice and long and just the right size. And then my title with Oh Happy Day and the layered part. You can tell a lot better in the close up. It's kind of hard to tell in the Well, at least on this tiny screen. It was kind of hard to tell from a distance. But if you leave a comment below, I'll try to get back with you. If you like the video and hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I'd love to have you subscribe. And those of you are, thank you so very much. Have a happy, scrappy week. Bye.